Welcome everyone, one and all. This is the 15th episode of the Unbanned podcast, and we have one thing to say. Unbanned Decorated Night. I bet you most of you don't even know what that card is.
It's a card we didn't get because Wizards doesn't love us.
Come on, Wizards.
Yeah, get us on that list. Send us a Decorated Night. We like your products.
I have one of these holiday promos, and I really want more.
It's the Thopter Pie Network, right?
Yeah, so good.
I got that one.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, it's a decent one if I'd say so myself. It involves food.
My name's Jake, and when I'm not complaining about not having holiday promos, I'm introducing my co-hosts, Justin.
It's me, Justin.
And Jordan.
I'm Jordan. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Happy
Christmas. Happy holidays.
You gotta be somewhat politically correct.
Happy
Jake.
Hanukkah, whatever you want to be celebrating. That's what we're doing this week.
Jake, your card predicted food tokens.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're right.
Ah!
We should probably explain what Decorated Night is. So, for those of you who don't know, every year, Wizards of the Coast sends out a holiday promo. They used to just send it to, like, tournament organizers and LGSs. This year, they've been sending out to content producers as well. And our promo this year, which we did not receive, is Decorated Night. 3 and a blue for 3/3 Human Knight. It's got an adventure. Its adventure is 2 and a blue. Sorcery. Exchange your library with another deck you own from outside the game. Shuffle your library. And its effect on its creature half is whenever it attacks, draw a card from your original deck if it's outside of the game.
It's a fun card to play with. Silver-boarded cards.
Yeah, we need more cards like this. Even though, never mind, we don't need more of these. One a year is pretty solid.
Don't do another unset. Not yet. Wait another 10 years, then hit us with
What do you mean? We've already got one coming up. Did you forget?
Oh, yeah, that's right. This week, in the spirit of Christmas, we are putting together our own Christmas Wishlists. We're just gonna throw out some fun things that we think should be in Magic in the next year. And then next week, we're gonna look back at the year we've had and maybe throw out some criticism. I don't know. We'll see.
We're gonna not be as negative this week. We promise. That's Christmas time. We're positive.
Yeah, it's a happy time of year.
Especially Jake.
I am the most happy individual. Okay, well, let's move on. So the first thing that I would like to ask, what are we calling Wizards for this? Is it Saint Wizards List? Santa cards?
What do you mean?
Instead of the mothership, they're the sleigh.
Oh, okay, the Wizard sleigh.
What are you talking about? I'm confused.
Well, when you make a wish list, Justin, you send it to Santa typically. That's the point of a Christmas wish list, or your friends and family.
No, we're just sending it to Santa, and he's gonna fulfill our dreams and make Wizards print what we want.
Okay.
My mom always told me, write my wish list, put it in a little letter, and then she's going to go and take it to the mailbox to send it to Santa. Never saw the address for some reason.
The North Pole, at the North Pole Lane, North Pole, Antarctica.
I hate to just randomly throw this in here, but I was looking at the holiday promos, and I just want to call it the best holiday promo of them all.
Which is?
It's Snow Mercy. It's 2 and 2 white for a snow enchantment. It says, whenever a creature deals damage to you, put a globe counter on it. And then it has the ability tap, untap, tap, untap, tap all creatures with globe counters on them. So basically you shake a snow globe.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
I was not following. That's really cool.
It's genius. I love it.
I really like Naughty and Nice, but it's not really a great janky effect. It's almost like a normal card.
I like Mishra's Toy Shop.
Some Disassembly Required was also a good one. I never even knew this one came out, actually. This was the 2017 one, where 1 black enchantment, black sack a creature, and distribute sacrifice creature's keyword abilities among any number of target creatures until end of turn. If it's December, you gain 1 life for each of those keywords.
That's so cool. I love that one. So basically, I think the first thing on our list is we want a holiday promo.
Before we move on, I do want to point out, I know that Antarctica is actually at the South Pole, just before anyone comments. I was making a joke. Okay, moving on. Yeah, we want a holiday promo. That's what we want.
No, the
That'd be
first
pretty
thing
cool.
that both I and Justin mentioned was we want another Masters set.
And I'm not even saying like modern Masters. Like, just, throw us an Eternal Masters too. That'd be pretty cool.
Electric Boogaloo. Now with more force of will.
I've got cards in my cube I still need to fill. Give us a Blightsteel Colossus, please.
I want dual lands in it. That's what I really want for Christmas, is abolishing the reserve list. Come on, Paper Magic's dying anyway. Haven't you heard? Just abolish it.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that one, but yeah, another Master set. I also really liked Master sets because of the draft formats were just great. I don't think I ever played one that was bad, and part of that's because they're kind of cube-y. Because they would always have a theme.
Yeah, they'd have a few. I never drafted. The last Master set I drafted was Iconic.
I never got to draft Ultimate Masters because it was just too expensive.
Yeah, I wanted to draft that so badly. I didn't, though.
Maybe it'll come around on MTGO again for us.
It's making me recollect the Iconic Masters draft where I drafted Genesis Wave, Kokosho, and Avacyn. And I made the jankiest Abzan deck that would Genesis Wave for like 14.
That's pretty amazing.
I'm just remembering that set and realizing that Genesis
Mill
Wave was in
gone.
it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that Mill is the greatest thing on that thing, or in that set.
Put together Iconic Masters, and they're like, we're going to put Genesis Wave and Avacyn in it.
Well, Avacyn's 8-drop. You have to put 11 mana under that. They did put Roshin Meander, which was a problem.
I'm more commenting on the fact that Iconic Masters had not that many iconic cards in it. It was kind of a weird name, but yeah, that set was cool still. Like, I never got to draft it either. It was sad.
Yeah, it was one of the more fun draft sets I've ever done, actually, even though that set got a ton of crap.
All the Master sets were super fun to draft. Even Masters 25, which was like the weirdest one of them all.
Which is slowly creeping up in value for you financial freaks out there. But yeah, bring back a nice Masters set. Like, again, Eternal Masters 2 would be pretty cool.
And can we put some fetch lands in it to just lower the price a little bit? That'd be cool.
Have fun with that.
Along the same lines, as far as like products I want in 2020, now we have been confirmed at this point. We are getting Challenger decks again. They announced the announcement, as Wizards has been favoring. I would really love like modern Legacy Pauper style Challenger decks. Legacy might be hard to do. Modern might be hard to do. But Pauper is the easiest Challenger deck to make.
Yeah, you could charge $10 for them.
I was about to say, you can make them really accessible and make them like $10 and get people really interested in the format.
Be so sweet. Also, we would finally have a place to reprint Oubliette.
You know what they could do with that as well? Since they like doing like alternate collector's editions, they could have the intro versions for people who are just trying out the format. And then for established players in the format, they could have like a collector's version with alternate art that costs more.
I was actually kind of shocked that there was not some sort of a like secret lair drop that had Pauper staples in it, because a lot of the Pauper players I see, they really like to bling out their decks because it's pretty cheap.
Well, because it costs $150 to bling out a deck.
Exactly, yeah. It's way easier than blinging out like Tron or Jund.
Unless you're me, where you have a Pauper deck that runs 4 Lotus Petal, and the cheapest foil Lotus Petal is like $40.
Well, that's a specific situation, but the other thing about Pauper players is that they like blinging out their decks and getting specific versions of cards because the cards are so iconic. It's kind of like Legacy in that respect.
It's true.
No, it's a lot like Legacy. I love Pauper. I want to go play more.
See, I just want to tell this really quick story because I think it's funny, and it just shows like how obnoxious Pauper can be. I wanted to bling out my 1-lane spy deck so badly. Like, I wanted to bling it out to max. Because it runs, like, Dark Ritual, Lotus Petal, like, all these cards that have gotten inventions or, like, masterpieces. And I wanted to show up to, like a Pauper event with this deck that costs, like, $5,000. It's a stupid joke.
Hey, if you can do that by next year's Pauper Championship, that'd be cool.
Does anybody want to start my funding for 4 Kaladesh Invention Lotus Petals? They're only $143 each.
Let's get this man a GoFundMe page. In the spirit of Christmas, we're getting you your blinged out Pauper deck.
Fund me my $5,000 Pauper deck that cost me $30 to build.
Can I get some foil Future Sight Goyfs while we're at it? Please.
You guys better save
And
your
you know
shekels.
what? If you can't fund me the $5,000 Pauper deck, I understand. If you'd like to fund me my $5,000 worth of dubious challenges,
Oh,
sure, go for it. That's only like, bring out the calculator real quick. Let's see. Sorry, this is a lot of math here. 5,000 divided by 0.15 is... It's only 33,334 dubious challenges, so let's make it happen.
Could wallpaper your house with that many.
why
At least one room.
in the hell would he want to wallpaper his house with such a beautiful, amazing, powerful card?
It is powerful if it's played right. Don't talk crap.
Sure.
Like, that's a...
Sure.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Dubious Challenge 2-0'd Brad Nelson in SCG Open. I don't think you should be talking crap about that card. Brad Nelson's finished second like 35 times in Mythic Championships. Don't talk crap.
Brad is an amazing player, but technically anyone could 2-0 him just through variance.
I don't care. Dubious Challenge did it.
It's just...
It was a dubious challenge.
So my Christmas wish is a reprint of Dubious Challenge in a Masters set.
God.
That would be kind of cool, actually. I'd be down.
Get us like Flicker Wisp in it too.
Yeah.
They've reprinted Tassiger 4 times or something, so...
They reprinted Talrand in Ultimate Masters.
Oh my...
A card that might be worth less than Dubious Challenge.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was printed in Ultimate Masters.
They
That's
have
nuts.
to do some duds, but like, can we make the duds a little bit less duddy? Like Tree of Redemption, for example, just pulling out of
jeez.
nowhere. Maybe
This is
we don't
positive. This podcast is positive.
Okay, sorry.
My voice
sorry.
cracked
Positive.
Tree of Redemption is a fantastic blocker. I think it's probably one of the best blockers in the game, especially in Commander.
It might be the number one, right up there with Progenitus.
No, I have a positive thing to say about Tree of Redemption or Perdition or whichever one it was. I don't remember.
Perdition was the one that made your opponent. Redemption was your life.
Not relevant, don't care. Anyway. I remember, in the spirit of giving, I will bring up the story of what people did at their local game stores with with Masters 25 when that came out. The no tree guarantee. If you pulled a tree, you would get another pack.
That was funny.
So good.
And then I would
loved it.
open like Iconic Masters and Modern Masters 2017, get a Simic Sky Swallower, and literally yeet the thing across the store.
That's when you practice your card throwing, man. You just...
That's what I was doing.
What else do we have that's positive and happy to go with our theme?
You know what I would really like for the coming year, and I think they can do it?
What is it?
It just starts with the word fetch. On to the next topic.
I want more Pioneer PTQs. I don't want these standard PTQs anymore. Get rid of them. I want Pioneer ones. Pioneer's so good. It's so good. I've been playing it more. I'm playing it Premiere tomorrow morning again because it's so much fun.
There are a lot of Pioneer PTQs coming up. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but they're not the WPM ones. They're all the ones that I want to go to. Come on, Santa. Give me more Pioneer PTQs.
In the same vein as Pioneer, though, I have something on my wish list which is a little bit off-brand. It's off the brand of our podcast. It's off my brand as Jake the Jackal, the guy on Twitter who yells about how Oko needs to be banned. I don't want any bans next year. I want January to come out. I want them to ban some stuff in Pioneer, ban some stuff in Modern if you feel it, and then I want to coast. I want to have a whole year where the formats are just not broken. And I don't think I'm going to get it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think if anything happens, it's probably going to be the most ban-centric year of Magic's history. But I really, really, really want no bans.
So, Actually, thinking of the band train, if I could put in one of my own ideas. Much like, let's exclude War of the Spark from what I'm about to say. Like, forget that set existed when I say this. Way less Planeswalkers.
That would be nice.
Less. We need less. Like, maybe one a set. 1 or 2 a set.
They kind of trended towards that. We only got 2 in Eldraine.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, that's about where it should be for a bit.
Like I said, that's why we need to forget about War of the Spark and what that did to the game. That was a mistake. Let's have a set with no Planeswalkers. Can you believe it?
Or maybe even just do, like, 2 or 3 little uncommon guys for, like, just to meet your quota, I guess, because apparently we have to have Planeswalkers, but don't make them mythics. Like, try that.
Make it something like 1 and 2 blue, where your opponents can't draw cards, and then you can minus them.
Positive, Justin. We are being positive.
I'm being positive. That'd be a cool card design, wouldn't it? For an uncommon Planeswalker.
Would it perhaps basically be Dig Through Time?
No, because it only looks at 4 cards.
It looks at 4 cards twice and takes 2 cards, which is 8, which is 1 more than Dig Through Time.
But you can't counter half of Dig Through Time.
All right, you two. Enough.
Hey, you know what? I'm open to the idea of a rare or uncommon Planeswalker. Just do not put a Planeswalker in Pauper.
Oh yeah, no comments, please.
I'm going to do a quick 2 seconds of negativity, but that's it. That's all I'm going to do for the show. Wizards, if you put a Planeswalker in Pauper, I'm probably going to quit the game and go to Yu-Gi-Oh! All right.
We're probably going to do a Commander video for Christmas as well. Don't hold us to it. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But at some point, we're going to try and do some Commander. I'm going to force them to do it
because I want to do it. So I'm going to force these two to do it.
The problem is I'm going to be gone for like a week.
But you know what? Hey, I know you have bedtime and all. Let's do it tonight.
No. I have to work tomorrow.
I have to wake up tomorrow and play the prelim, man.
Hey, you don't need sleep to play the prelim.
Yes, I do. Last week I scrubbed out so hard.
All I'm saying is we should do it. We need to do it because I spent $20 yesterday on that.
I have another request.
What's this request?
I want, similarly to what Jake said, I want less bans. I want things to be more balanced, which we might get, we might not. Zendikar has a tendency to be broken, so we'll see. But once the bans are done, I want some unbans. And I think we all know where I'm going with this.
Being completely on brand. Let's hear it.
Unban Splinter Twin.
For reference, at some point in the future, we are going to have nothing to talk about a week, and Jordan and I are just going to go off. We're just going to talk about how Splinter Twin should not be on the modern ban list currently.
That is on Rise of the Eldrazi.
Yeah, it is. And for those of you who quote the reasons why they originally banned Splinter Twin, currently, I want you to look at the cards in Modern that are being played. I want you to look at what people are doing and tell me to my face that Splinter Twin is more powerful than all those things.
If Urza is okay for Modern, I don't think it is. If Teferi's okay for Modern, if Narset's okay for Modern, guess what? Splinter Twin is okay for Modern.
Also make my investment of 8 Splinter Twins worth it.
Yeah, I have 2 play sets as well, one for me and one for Jake.
Anyway, assuming it doesn't get unbanned, we will talk about why it probably should be unbanned at some point in the future.
I'll make a video. It'll go up on the Unbanned podcast channel. We'll go in depth as to why Splinter Twin should be unbanned. We'll play all the decks. We'll run it through the gauntlet.
Dude, we will do it one of these days. We will make our gauntlet.
I've got an idea.
Just call me Pleasant Kenobi because I'm about to get this card unbanned.
I have another thing. And again, it's printing less of something. And that's 5-color commanders. I'm sick of 5-color commanders being like 2 a set now. I think I voiced this in another podcast earlier, but I'm done with it.
So this is the problem, is they have to have a 5-color commander every year or so to keep it legal in Brawl. And maybe they should just do reprints? Maybe just like...
Quit making it good.
Reprint Kenrith, I guess? The other issue is, this is the problem with Brawl, is like they want multiple 5-color commanders so that you have more than one 5-color deck to play. But the nature of Standard is that things rotate, things change every few months. You aren't always going to be able to play Lich's Mastery 5-color because a new set will come out and invalidate that strategy. That's why Standard is fun. Whereas with Brawl, you want 5-color open all the time because there are people who only play 5-color commander decks. That's their jam.
Well, just make Fusion Elemental legendary then.
Something like that. They need to find something for Brawl that's like the core set where there's just always these cards in it. And I don't think it's going to work. I think at some point we're just going to maybe drop Brawl or maybe make it more rotation based where you're not just allowed to play whatever you want.
I think the main problem with printing things for Brawl is that Brawl shares the same card pool as Standard. As of the last couple of sets, they haven't printed anything just into Brawl. And I think that's what they need to do. If they're going to print like 5-color commanders for Brawl, they should be part of the Brawl decks and be printed just for Brawl. They're not legal in Standard.
Yeah, actually that's a perfect idea. Make a 5-color legendary, but the first text line is this creature can only be a commander.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
So then you don't have to worry about like Corval being played in Standard.
Yes, because it can't be a commander if it's in a 60-card deck.
I want less exclusive cards in the next year.
Yeah, you've gone on this one for a while.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot, but they announced the format packs. No, not format packs. The theme packs for Theros, and they have unique cards in them because we can't just sell standard staples in those things. We have to have unique cards. I don't know why this is the new standard, and you guys should probably stop. The thing is, it feels like they messed up again because the green one looks like almost playable because of course the green one's the most powerful one.
Oh crap, you know what they can do? They can put 5-color commanders in game night products. That's what they can do.
Yeah, something like that.
That might be kind of cool.
Just quit putting it in standard and modern and stuff like that.
Another thing that I want to see, and this one's probably the most controversial thing on my wish list, it's also the last one. I want Wizards of the Coast to phase out or abandon some formats. My picks would be Brawl and Historic. There are so many formats at this point. There's Historic, there's Standard, there's Pioneer, there's Brawl, there's Commander, there's Legacy, there's Modern, there's Pauper, there's Peasant, and then there's all the side ones like Canlander, which sounds awesome, and I would really love to play it if anyone wants to teach me Canadian Highlander someday. There's so many different formats, and a lot of people say that's one of the strengths of Magic, and I agree, when it's being done by players and communities. I don't like the idea of Wizards forcing Brawl as a thing. If that became a thing on its own and they want to support that, that's something that I feel like should be sustainable because the community power is behind it. But Wizards of the Coast keeps introducing these new formats just to have them almost. And Pioneer's been really successful. But I get the feeling they might try to do that again, and I really hope they don't try to do that again.
I think Pioneer illustrates what you need to do with a format to make it successful. Because Pioneer has been out for about 3 months, and it's already successful. It already has so much hype. It has people making content for it. It has people who play it exclusively. So many people brewing. And I think it's because it first off addressed a problem that other formats had. Actually addressed a couple. First is that there wasn't really a format where you could play your old standard cards. That didn't really exist. Modern was supposed to be that, but it didn't work. And Historic is too new. Everything on Arena is not what a lot of people think of when they think of like classic standard cards. A lot of people think it's back to Return to Ravnica.
Honestly, Historic is just placeholder Pioneer for MTGA. I would not expect it to be around in a year or two.
I think they could make it good because they could take everything that is available on MTGA, and then if they like threw a bunch of like legacy staples into it, they could make something unique.
That doesn't sound like fun though.
It could be. It depends on how powerful the answers are. We'll have to see. But that's not what I'm getting at. I want to go over Pioneer. So Pioneer compared to Brawl. Pioneer that came out of the gate said, we're going to be watching this format. want it to be a big deal. So we're going to be supporting it with all these tournaments. There's a lot of hype. You can qualify for major tournaments like this. And we're going to be banning things from it and making sure it's good. We're going to do our best to make this work, right? Brawl, in comparison. Now, to be fair, Brawl's a casual format. But when they announced Brawl, they said, here's Brawl. Where can you play it? You can play it
MTGA on Wednesday.
Yeah, and it's like now they've gotten to the point where they have Brawl decks and they have events that they're pushing at GPs, but it's like they're not supporting Brawl in the same way. With Pioneer, you can go play it on MTGO whenever you want, and there's enough hype behind it that you can get people to play with you. With Brawl, you can play it on MTGA every Wednesday, like Justin said, or you can pay money to unlock the Brawl queue currently. And it's just like, that's not how you support a format. So it's just a difference of how to make a format work compared to how to not make a format work.
I feel bad for everyone who got duped into playing for Brawladays, by the way, because
it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
It really
but
does.
Basically, in order to make a format work, you need to support it. It has to be something that people are interested in, and it has to address things that other formats don't have. Brawl doesn't have anything that Commander doesn't have. Straight up, it doesn't. So that's why it can't compete with Commander, because it doesn't do anything different. Anyway, I can't remember why I brought that up, but that was a fun discussion.
It was indeed. That was a very positive discussion.
Commander should be awesome next year. This isn't even a wish list. Commander's gonna be awesome next year. I'm gonna see if I can actually hit one of the Command Fests this time.
That would be fun. I'd be down to go.
Do a Vegas Command Fest.
Yes, please.
Yeah, get one next to us, please.
That is not attached to Grand Prix Vegas. Do two.
Yeah, honestly, I think people are hype enough for it that they would go. I think they would go to 2.
Maybe I'll have to hit Seattle. I like Seattle a lot.
Didn't the Seattle Command Fest already happen, though?
Yeah, but that was this year. 2019.
Oh, yeah.
We're going
It's
into
the 2020 wish list.
This is the 2020 wish list. Official, sponsored by Jake the Jackal.
Sponsored by our famous friend Jake.
Oh, on the subject of organized play and giving people opportunities to play, here's what I would really love to see happen in 2020. I want them to actually replace Planeswalker points. I want a good way to track my progress and track how well I've been doing at tournaments. Maybe like a ranking system that just shows you how well you're doing against everyone else, but not Planeswalker points, because I don't think Planeswalker points really works that well.
They're kind of worthless. It'd be really cool if we had state rankings, national rankings, things like that.
But not tied to Planeswalker points, because Planeswalker points kind of just went to whoever grinded the most.
I think one of the issues with organized play right now is that a lot of the small time players don't really see a way into it. If you're not knocking on the MPL right now, you probably aren't interested in organized play.
Unless you're playing the SCG tour.
Yeah, SCG does a really great job of actually keeping people engaged, and they have better EV, and there's a lot of reasons as to why that is. But we'll put them aside for a second. SCG is really great. But the main ones, just looking at them from a casual perspective, GPs used to be this thing that you could just kind of jump into as anyone and just kind of have fun with it. And they've been restructured to the point where they don't feel like that anymore. The GP is something that happens at a Magic Fest. The Magic Fest is for the casual people, and the GP is for the competitive people.
Yeah.
But that's not how it feels actually playing them, and they just feel like the same Grand Prix, but with less people in them because we've restructured it.
Yeah, and there seems to be a little less interest in GPs all around. It would be interesting to see numbers of how many people are playing side events at Magic Fest compared to the main events, because I feel like just all the casual people stopped playing Grand Prix. They just started playing side events, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like they might want to redo how Grand Prix work too, because I think having open tournaments is important, but since they're not covered anymore and they seem to be shrinking in popularity, you might want to change the way that they're done a little bit.
But kind of what I was saying is that because of the lack of points, of the point system, which they're trying to fix with fractional invites, and I think that that's a step forward, but we need more than that. You need a more structured system that actually says to people, hey, you can play in this and get to Pro Tours and not do like consistently well at everything. You need that mid-grade player. You need that. If the MPL is who's the really good football team who's won a bunch of different.
The Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots. If the MPL is the Patriots, you need the Browns at the bottom. You've got to have like the not great players in your league.
The people who are good enough to be professional players, but still at the bottom and get invites.
So I have to say, are you telling me I can be in the MPL?
I'll be honest. If we're comparing like Magic skill, you're not the Browns of Magic, Justin.
I'm like the Division 4 college team.
You're like the local.
Made up of like. I'm like the local flag football team.
Yeah. That's about where I'm at right now too. Don't worry.
What Jake is saying is that not everyone can be in the MPL by its very design. That's the point. It's supposed to be the best of the best, but you need more people playing because you need the people who are trying to get to the MPL in order for there to be a system, in order for the top to exist. You need the bottom as well. That's why stuff like League of Legends works so well, is because every single person playing ranked has this dream that they could one day become a pro player and make money by doing this.
The other thing is that the act of getting to Challenger in League of Legends is something that is intrinsically tied to their competitive system. For Magic, you can get into the tournaments by not playing Arena. It's not the main thing. You need a system that overarches between MTGO and MTG Arena that makes it so that we know who the best of the best is across all these systems. And maybe that's like the mythic points?
Yeah, you could like maybe make like a soft elo system with the mythic points, kind of something like that. Some people actually do run a elo where they keep track of like Grand Prix and Players Tour finishes and stuff like that in order to establish an actual elo rating like what chess has. Maybe something like that, but it is interesting that they've got the Players Tour and like the digital side of things so separated. They've got MTGO and the Players Tour, and then Mythic Invitationals on the other side. I don't know. Eventually you would end up in the MTL if you won every Players Tour, but for someone who just consistently does pretty well in the Players Tour, it doesn't feel like you get a lot of recognition necessarily.
Well, and I'm not even saying that. There are fans of the Browns in the NFL. The Browns is a bad team in the NFL, if anyone missed this.
We call those people crazy.
And like Justin just said, it makes no sense. Their team has been bad for so long, but because of their history with the team, they like it. But you can't do that with Magic because they just cut out like 90% of the players by cutting to the MPL. There's a lot of people I was a fan of at the Grand Prix level, like watching when they were grinding through GPs. I would watch my friend Patrick go play Grand Prix. I would follow him and people at his store and all the people I know. And none of those people play Magic professionally anymore.
I guess that is kind of the problem, is that the community is much more than just the people at the top of the competitive scene. You need to highlight that as well if you want a large number of people playing in your competitive scene anyway.
And I think Rivals is going to help this a lot. To keep the criticism constructive, I want to see how Rivals works before we actually like get back onto trashing the MPL, because they had a hard year with that. They just couldn't get viewership.
We're trying to give suggestions rather than just decry everything and stay positive.
Because I want the MPL to work, man. I want to go onto Twitch every single weekend and watch Magic. I want to spend my days off watching really good people play Magic, because that's what I want to do. I want to be that good and play on the MPL and all that. But
yeah,
it's just not interesting. And I've been trying for months to figure out why the MPL is not interesting to me, because I love competitive Magic. It should be the most interesting thing in the world.
It's because you can't follow a story. The reason why people like the Browns is because even if the Browns do badly for a year, you can still follow them and look forward to what they might be doing a few years down the line, because they get new players or they might hire a new coach. And that's not something you can really do with Magic because there's no teams. So there's nothing really to change. But you can follow players. And I think the main thing is they just need to find better ways to show off their players. And the funny thing is, Grand Prix used to do this really effectively. They put the good players and the people who you knew right in the center of the action. You would see them on feature matches, and now you don't really see that. So, like you said, there's this whole section of the community that just isn't highlighted anymore, and that's one of the things that the SCG Tour does really well. They put people on tokens, they have shout-outs for people, they do really good coverage of all their tournaments, and that's kind of what they need to get to. They need to show not just the MPL who they're pushing, but other people below that. And like I said, the Rivals League, like Jake said, the Rivals League will probably help with this, and the Players Tour may help with this as well, because the Players Tour has more invites, so we'll probably see more coverage of more of the lower tier as it is pros.
I don't know if you guys have any more, but I've got one last one. And technically, I don't think this is a 2020 wish list since they've already announced every set, but I want a futuristic set so badly. The best way I can describe it is if you play League of Legends, which we've already brought up, the project skins, I want a set that looks like that, like super futuristic, like 2300 looking crap.
Like how there was kind of like magic, they called it Aetherpunk with the Kaladesh stuff, where it was like steampunk but with magic. You want like cyberpunk but with magic.
Yes, I want like super hyper futuristic stuff. I think that would be so cool.
I think that'd be really cool in Magic style too. I mean, Magic used to literally have power suits in it back with Urza Saga and stuff.
Yeah, but I want to see like not like mechs. I want to see like almost Halo, I guess you could call it, but like not as bulky looking, like a lot more slim looking Halo looks.
That does sound pretty cool.
It's possible this happens. I think it would be much more likely to see something like technology is common for everyone, kind of like Kaladesh, but like one step further, where like everyone is walking around in like robot suits or is a robot or something like that. But I don't think it'd be straight futuristic. There wouldn't be like neon lighting, for example.
Oh, that's what I want though.
I kind of see what he's getting at though, like Esper but like with neon colors.
I mean, I guess like a more positive Esper could be cool, because Esper's kind of dark.
Yeah, like to elaborate on this, have you played Infamous Second Son?
Yeah, I've played a little bit.
So there's one character in the game that has a neon like superpower. Like, I want things to look like that. I don't know. It's a really big step. I know it's actually been brought up in a survey. Like, what kind of thing were you looking for in future sets? And one of them was a super realistic, like futuristic looking set. I know that was an option. I don't know if a ton of people picked it, but that's literally the top of my list.
I honestly kind of see where it would fit flavor-wise, too. So you've got Esper, which is white, black, blue. So Esper is really, it's orderly, it's all about technology and intelligence, and then it's also got black for the ambition and, like, cutthroatness, right? So Esper ends up being kind of, like you said, darker. And then Kaladesh was, like, this utopia built off of the Aether, right? So I think it would be cool to see a plane that goes in between them, that's based off of like artificing, but is more corporate, I guess.
Yeah, but it's not a primarily artifact set. Let's not do that.
I think for the type of world you're describing, it would have to be.
Yeah, there's no way they would do a neon cyberpunk based set and not have a butt ton of artifacts in it. That's when we would finally get armor, I'm sure.
Yeah, we would get armor as a mechanic. We would get a bunch of equipment, and I would want money. I'd want like gold to come back as a mechanic because it's all corporate. And you gotta pay
this
for
is
stuff.
my problem. Is like the minute we get to like, oh, this card makes credits. This is a completely different setting in game.
Yeah, no, that's why you would have to use gold. You'd bring back gold as a mechanic, and you could use gold to pay for abilities and stuff.
I guess I could see it. If we're asking for planes, though, I want Kaldheim right now. I think I say this like once an episode. Give me Kaldheim. I want Norse mythology. Come on.
I really would be excited for the Magic take on Norse mythology as well.
Also, let's go back to Kamigawa.
Yeah, I could go for that too. That's a plane that needs a redemption. That would be on my wish list, is redeem Kamigawa. Give it to us.
I want Ravnica. We haven't been there in a while.
Oh man, I really miss Ravnica.
You know, we make jokes about them going back to Ravnica, but they've done 3 blocks in the freaking plane, and they've all been good.
Yeah, they've been good, but
except for Dragon's Maze is the only
and
one.
also not well. Dragon's Maze isn't a block.
Oh yeah, that was just added on the end, right?
That was the third set. That was we've blown all our good ideas here. Here's Dak Faden and this tree deer.
Dak Faden's good in vintage.
It wasn't Dak, it was Ralzaric.
Yeah, I was about to say, Dak Faden is not in that sense.
He is dead, though, spoiler.
I'm so sad, stop.
But yeah, it was Ralzaric and Tree Spirit thing, which is Voice of Resurgence.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Voice of Resurgence is like the only expensive card in that set, huh?
It's also a card that people convince themselves is good.
It's good in Pioneer.
For the people who weren't playing during that time, I'll put in perspective. I think it was like 6 months ago, the third most expensive card was Voice of Resurgence's token.
That's
how bad that set was, and Ralzaric was second.
That's a rough life right there.
But keeping things on the positive side, in the spirit of Christmas, it brought Ralzaric in. Come on, I love
Our
Ral.
favorite lightning shooting is a boy.
Our favorite cringy quote in Magic Arena guy when you play Ral's Storm Conduit.
I have a new thing for my wish list. Better voice lines in MTG Arena.
Yes.
That'd be
yes.
cool.
I hate listening to Ral say, "You need a ticket to ride the lightning."
Wait, what?
Does he say that? What?
Yes, he does. Play Ral Storm Conduit. You will hear him say this garbage.
I get the feeling they are doing their best with the resources they have.
Let's slow things down.
No, stop. I hear so much Teferi. Teferi's voice is actually really good. I'm just tired of hearing the voice lines.
That's what I used to do at Jake's streams. Whenever a Teferi would get played, I would just copy and paste "Let's slow things down" in chat, just because of how ridiculous you'd hear.
Let's get off of Teferi because I'm trying to stay positive and
yeah, positive. We need a new Teferi, a fair one.
we're getting 3.
Did you not know?
Make 3 fair Teferis. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Corset
we're getting
Teferi
3
next
core
year.
sets.
So let's put the fair in Teferi.
I hope so. I hope they aren't broken. Let's see how it goes. On a positive spin, this isn't a wish list, but I just want to say I'm so excited for the Commander Green thing that's coming out because I have a Tatiova deck and I want it really bad.
That deck needs to be so happy that it stops existing.
Everyone hates when
That's how
it.
positive I want Tatiova to be, is that she just stops existing from happiness.
It's such a good deck. I love it. I want not just Pioneer on MTGA this year, which I think we will get, but they teased me by putting power into those decks, those preview decks. I want Vintage. I want Canadian Highlander on there, guys. Like, they've got Black Lotus in the game. Give it to me.
See, I'm over here just hoping they finally remove best of 1. I'm not saying remove it entirely. I'm just saying it should not be a ranked option.
Here we go. I got it. They need to be able to draft with other people on Magic Arena by the end of this year.
That would be a great one to have. I would love that.
I would draft
That's what
so
Magic
much
Arena
more.
needs.
I really hope that these are things that they are looking at. I think that they're starting to get there. I think that's why they've started coding in like just so seemingly random cards for events. I think they're working on it in the background.
And then give us Vintage Cube.
Oh, Vintage Cube on Arena would be so much fun. I'd be down.
Pod drafting with Vintage Cube December next year. Please and thank you.
I would legitimately pay $10 a draft on Magic Arena for that.
I would draft that every day. I would go broke by Christmas. No one would get any presents.
No one gets presents. All we get is Vintage.
You can come and play Vintage Cube with me for your present.
That's right there. That's what we need, Magic. Or Wizards. That is... I said super futuristic set was my number 1. No, I want Vintage Cube with other people drafting it at the same time. Number 1 on Magic Arena.
Well, I think that kind of ties it all in knot, honestly. We want more Magic the Gathering Arena, but better.
Yeah, like, we're not expecting it tomorrow. It'd be cool if we could draft with other people tomorrow.
And I want Twin Unbanned yesterday.
Keep tuned to this podcast for the Unbanned Splinter Twin episode. We will bring it to you. I don't know if it's going to be a side episode or a real episode with Justin or what, but we will do it.
By episode, he means series because I'm going to keep making videos until they unban it.
Welcome to the Unbanned Splinter Twin podcast, episode 462.
Now, some people have criticized me for releasing 4 episodes a day that are only 10 minutes long each. But I would like to tell those people that I'll get this done one way or another.
And the Wizard's like, what is this unbanned Splinter Twin thing? And then at a certain point, they will keep it banned just because of you.
They see Unbanned Splinter Twin podcast and they're just like, oh, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. Let's move on.
This guy's done 600 episodes. Maybe we should unban it. Gavin Verhey's like, let's make Arch Enemy 63.
On episode 420, I just am like, all right, and this is my thesis. I have researched this for the last 5 years. Here are the stats and all of the reasons why Splinter Twin is safe in this current format. This is my thesis. It's 100 pages long. Please, Wizards, this is up for free online.
I earned my doctorate off of this thesis.
I got a doctorate in statistics off of Splinter Twin.
I have a mural on the front of my house that is just Splinter Twin. I need this.
It's just Splinter Twin with never forget over it.
Wizards, if you unban Splinter Twin this year, I will get it tattooed on my back.
His whole back.
I am dead serious. No, not my whole back. Not the whole thing. That's way too expensive. That's like a $500 tattoo. But no, I will get it tattooed on my back, specifically my right shoulder.
Well,
you need to get one twin on your right shoulder and the other on the left shoulder.
Again, that's prime real estate. Come on, stop.
We will get it done, Jordan, for you. But we are talking about theoretical Splinter Twin tattoos. I think we should let our lovely audience go.
That's not theoretical. I'm dead serious. If they unban it this year, I'm getting a Splinter Twin tattoo. Might not be on the back, but it's
Monday
happening.
comes up, Splinter Twin is unbanned.
I'm gonna tweet this out at the end of the show. I'm gonna see if I can make it a hashtag. I will do this if they unban it this year. Raise awareness.
All right. Well, that crazy person over there is It Fox on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. He's fantastic. He is passionate about Splinter Twin. Follow him. We have also had Dubious_Justin, Dubious_Challenger. That's Justin. Follow him everywhere. He does great stuff too. We did an art review, and by we, I mean these two.
We did it. I've also been streaming slightly more. Sorry to interrupt you, but I've been streaming slightly more instead of just doing nothing.
So check out his Twitch channel. Streaming more.
Yeah, I've been doing low kill runs in Resident Evil 4, if that sounds interesting to you.
I like Resident Evil 4. Good game. I am Jake the Jackal everywhere. Just type me into Google. You'll find me. I'm just in places. And I'm there playing Magic. And we have been the Unbanned Podcast. Please go over to patreon.com/unbannedcast. Check us out. Throw us $1 if you like the show. You'll get a full uncut version of every episode for the low price of $1. You can listen to us ramble about...
We rambled about Call of Duty for like 10 minutes this week, actually. I talked about dumping a $70, $80 Platinum Angel in a box and forgetting about it for a few months.
Don't give it all away, because legitimately on every one of the Raw episodes there is like 20 minutes-ish of extra content that's just us being goofs.
And a lot of swearing. Don't let your kids listen to it. We say bad words.
Oh no, I don't think the internet can handle it.
Like crap and butt.
And also we post up deck lists and other random stuff that we like to put up on there.
It's 100% true. Those are all the benefits you can get from our Patreon. So check it out. And we have one last thing to say this week. We can't let that Decorated Knight go. Sorry, buddy. You need to ban Decorated Knight.
It's too powerful. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you get swap decks. That just means you bring a deck that's good against all your bad matchups and you win. Ban that thing.
To quote Alexander Hain on Twitter, "The year is 2022. You've managed to win the first 3 rounds of the tournament before getting a card from your deck banned. A new record. You normally carry 12 decks with you to each tournament. Round 4, your sideboard gets banned just as you finish game 1. You love the uncertainty." Alexander Hain on Twitter. Insane Hain. Go follow him. He's amazing.
Dude, that was great.
Okay. Let's go. Goodbye, everyone. Merry
Bye.
Christmas. See you next week.
Have a happy holidays. Stay safe out there, people.
Happy holidays.